Good evening, everyone. I hope I can be heard. Good evening. I hope I
Yeah,
can
you
be
can
heard.
be heard, sir.
Alright, let's start like last time. Or should we give them like some few minutes to join? Or we should start?
I think we can wait for like 2 minutes to let them do.
Alright, let's give them that time.
Good evening.
Alright, let's start. We can wait for them. But it's like this is the number we are getting for now. So let's start. Okay. So I'm going to share my screen today. For the past, from our previous meetings, we have looked at. So far, I've not looked at how certain things or how certain sentences are typed in different coding environment like the PHP and all. The reason I always give being that it is the principles we have to know. When we get to know these principles, are you okay? We can now just change the sentence. Understanding the principles is key. All we have to do is just change the sentence when we move to these different environments. So I'm focusing on the principles for now. And so far so good. We have looked at 2 out of 4. And we are going to look at the third one. And probably I'm hoping that in our next meeting we will finish with the fourth one. Then we can now play with them in different coding environments. That way, that one will be moving with a very high speed because I know that you understand the principles. I'll just be telling you how it is coded in just these different environments. So for now, we are just going to focus on them. I hope you are good with that. All right, so let's look at the next one, which is polymorphism. The last time we looked at encapsulation and inheritance, and the reason why I'm arranging it this way is because they have some kind of relationship to do with each other. It depends on how you decide to arrange them. For encapsulation, I brought it before inheritance in the sense that I wanted you to I could have brought abstraction right after encapsulation, but I saved abstraction for last for a reason, and you will understand when we get there. But the reason why I brought inheritance and polymorphism right after inheritance is because they have something very close to do with each other. And they said that polymorphism is only possible if a subclass inherits from a parent class. Then the methods of that parent class are first, should I say, are given different definitions, and the whole purpose of polymorphism is many ways. When we talk about polymorphism, it's one thing behaving in many ways, okay, or one thing behaving in several ways. So that's the whole purpose of polymorphism. Are you okay? So we are going to look at something on my screen. If I should ask that it should be read to me, Abi, we all know the drill that nobody will read. So I'll read it myself and then we'll continue. So I'll share my screen, then we'll proceed. And please give me a thumbs up if my screen can be seen from your end. How do I do that? They're reacting. Let me come back here. Okay. All right. So if that is being the case, it's like I'm admitting people, but it's not admitting them. Anyway, I don't know who I'm supposed to be admitting and who I'm not supposed to be admitting to. The person in charge of that case is not currently with us in the class. So anything that comes, I just press admit. And I don't think it's working for that person. I don't know why. Maybe the person's network at his or her end, but it's not working. I press admit, I am far. So I'm going to go straight and teach. So we are going to look at this particular um, document I'm sharing on my screen here. I've tried to enlarge it so that we can read easily. Give me a moment, let me plug my Wi-Fi so it does not go off in the middle of the class. Okay, let me plug my laptop too, just in case. Okay. Okay then, let's proceed. So Java polymorphism, okay, we are going to look at it from a beginner friendly manner all the way to as advanced as we can get. Okay, so let's follow. So Java polymorphism beginner friendly guide, okay, deep explanation and line by line code explanations as well, as long as the expected outputs that we are supposed to get after the code is being run. Now, for simple meaning, polymorphism means many forms. As I was trying to explain earlier, that polymorphism means many forms, which allows one method or object to behave differently depending on the situation. Before I even further go on, let me try and give it a very simple explanation. Imagine if you have a remote, okay, that remote is the object, okay, or you can even say it's it's an object. And I remember objects have methods, okay, and attributes. They methods they do certain things, and attributes they hold certain qualities. Are you okay? Now, if that remote has something on it called the on button, okay, the on button. We all know the on button on the remote. So if I should press that button to a television, okay, It turns on the television. Remember, the television is a different something altogether. And if I'm supposed to point that same remote to the fan or air condition to it turns it on. So we're just trying to say that even though the objects are different, okay, looking at the
Are you sure
same
you are not? Are you sure you are not
is,
moving?
can I be heard and can my screen be seen? All right, let's continue then. So what I'm saying is that,
Hello. Uma.
yes, please.
There's this sound at your background. I don't know if you can
I'm not sure
notice.
it's from my end. How is it? How is it sounding?
I don't know if it's a fan.
Oh, okay.
Yes, it's okay now.
Is it okay now?
Yes, it's okay now.
All right, so I'm loud and clear. Let's continue. So I was just giving a scenario with how polymorphism works, but we can just still read and we'll get an understanding. We say that it is one of the core principles in object oriented programming. One of the core principles. It works closely with inheritance. Remember, I stated that before even we started the whole official lecturing, because it allows child classes to provide their own behavior. This makes program flexible and reusable. It also helps write cleaner and more scalable codes. Now, let's look at the first rule that comes when we are doing polymorphism. Okay, the first one is called method overriding. I'm sure this is not the first time you have heard method overriding. In general terms, it is also known as the runtime polymorphism. Method overriding is known as the runtime polymorphism. I will ask this some other time. Who knows? It's also known as the runtime polymorphism. Explanation to that. Method overriding happens when a child class, we already know what a child class is from our inheritance previous section. When a child class provides a specific implementation of a method, and where is that method already existing? It is existing in the parents class. So we are saying that when a child class, okay, what does the child class do? It provides a specific implementation of a method that belongs to a parent class. So I can define a method in a parent class, okay, and maybe give it something. Maybe the method is supposed to do something, but as the child class inherits from the parents class, okay, and that same method is called upon by the child class, I can redefine the implementation of that method. In other words, the way the method is supposed to perform its task. Remember, a method does something, okay, so I can redefine what the method is supposed to do inside that child class. And this redefining only happens in runtime. Okay, so when that runtime is occurring, that is when that's why we call this method overriding the runtime polymorphism. Are you okay? The method overloading, on the other hand, before I get there, is called the compile time polymorphism. We will get there, but I just want you to know that there are two different terms given to them. Overriding is runtime, and overloading is what? Compile time polymorphism. Now let's continue. The method must have the same. Come on, people. Who can please assist me with this admitting? Like, for God's sake, somebody should please assist me. All right. So the method must have the same name and perimeter as the what? The parent method. Now, we are trying to say that the method you will call upon or you will make in a child class must have the same name and same perimeters as the method that is inside the parents class. Okay. Now, this allows different objects to respond differently to the same method when it is called upon, and we will look at that. The decision of which method to execute is made at runtime. I repeat, the decision of which method to be executed, whether the one in the parent class or the one in the subclass that's inheriting from the parent class. Okay, which one of these two is to be which is to be executed will be made. That decision will be made at runtime. Okay, and this is why it is called the runtime polymorphism. This is why it is called the runtime polymorphism. Let's look at an example here in our slides. Okay, then we will make our own in our coding environment. All right, so with what we are seeing here, a class has been created. Okay, we all know that this is not the main class because main class always comes with main, okay, as the class name. But for now, this is just a class. Okay, so I can create any class inside my coding environment and name it what animals, like how I've created some here. I've named it encapsulation. I've created one here. I've named it what inheritance. But this is the main class. Okay, this is the main class. This is where code execution is actually done. So these things are just classes. So the whole thing is a package with multiple classes. Are you okay? Let's not really pay attention. I just wanted to explain that. So I can create another class here. Okay, Java class here, and then name the class animal. Okay, I can name the class animal. So you see that has been created for me. Okay, that has been created for me. All right, so we can also see something here. Let me clear it here for you to see what I'm talking about. Okay, changes nothing, though you can see that it works. Okay, it changes nothing, and it is okay. It is the same thing we are seeing in our coding environment. So you can see that here the access modifier was not specified, but Java automatically assigns a default access modifier to it when you don't. That is private package private. We call it the package private. That's the name of the default access modifier. I told you there are different types of access modifier. The default one Java assigns to classes and methods, if in case you don't specify, is called package. What is it? Package private, or so is it private package or package private? The name keeps intertwining in my head, but it's one of that. Are you okay? And that is to say that it is only accessible within that class. Okay, that class can only be accessible within this class. Right, it can be accessible inside another class. I'll explain all that. I think the last time I explained what access, when I said private, you know what it is. It's different from protected and different from public. They all have their own meanings. Okay, so I can decide to state it or not. Either way it works. Okay, let's continue. Now you can also see that the method here with which is not supposed to return anything, that's why it's void. Okay, that's why it's void over here. You can clearly see that its return type is void. And you can also see that this method here was not given an access modifier at the beginning. So that means that Java automatically assigns an access modifier to, but professionally this is not really the best way. Okay, professionally you have to give the access type as of when you are coding it. So I'll call mine public because I'll be accessing it from I'll be accessing this method from a subclass. Okay, I'll be accessing it from a subclass. And if you joined my lesson with inheritance, I stated that even if I protect the method or whatever, or the attributes or whatever, as long as I am inheriting from a subclass, I don't need a getter method to be able to get that information. I stated that. Okay, so for this we don't need getters. As long as a subclass is inheriting from this class, it will not need getter. So we said public void. Okay, let me display this thing alongside. Okay, yeah, so that you can follow. Okay, so public void. I hope you, the two interfaces can equally be seen at your end. If so, a thumbs up, so I know that you can equally see these two interfaces at your end. Can you? Good. All right, so public void, then we give the name of the method, which is what? Sound. Okay, then should we give any perimeter? No, for now we are not going to give it any specific perimeter, but we are going to tell it that what is supposed to bring out. Are you okay? Or something is supposed to see out onto the console for us to see, and it's going to bring out this. Yes, I like what it has given to me here. Animals make a sound, but I like, okay, because we are saying sound, let's use animals make a sound then. It still makes sense if you use that one. So animal makes a sound. Good. So this is what we are. This method is supposed initially. This is what this method is supposed to display. Okay, when let me say when called upon or when run. Okay, when we run it, this is what it's supposed to display. Are you okay? So if I should go to the main class and call upon this method, okay, that is what is supposed to run. So when I go to the main method, which is supposed to be displaying here, main class, okay, when I go to this main method, okay, and then let me bring it here. We are looking at what? Polymorphism. Polymorphism. Okay, I think that's the right spelling. Okay, so we are looking at polymorphism. So I can create an object that belongs to the class that we just created called what the animal class. Okay, so how do I call upon, I just first call upon the class. Okay, when I call upon the animal class, then I give it the name of the object. So I'll say maybe dog. Let me say cat. Cat is fine. I like cats. Let me use a small c for the principle of camel casing. So I've given it, then I said I should declare a new space in memory for it. I'm saying you should declare a new space in memory for it. Then I can call upon the animal over here. All right, so that is what I've done here. So that is it. So then I can now say inside this, okay, I have created an object. So I can now say that let that object display that sound that I heard. And if I should run this, which I was supposed to comment out the previous codes, but don't worry, we'll look at the latter part of it. That's where the what we have just done will be when it's done running. Still running. All right, all right, all right. So do you see that it has printed out here? Animal makes a sound when I called upon this method for the cat object I created. Are you okay? It says animal make a sound. But our main focus is not on this. Our main focus is on what? Polymorphism. And specifically for right now, we are talking about method overriding, also known as the runtime polymorphism. And this happens when what? A subclass changes the implementation of a method in the parent class. So that means that I'm going to create a subclass at the moment which is going to redefine the sound method when it is called upon. Are you okay? This is what we know as method override. It overrides it. Its explanation is in its name. If you actually know what overriding means, okay, the term to override something. Imagine if your boss gives a command for you to do something, and a higher boss than that boss of yours, okay, comes and give you another command. If you are to be me, will you listen to boss one or boss two? Which one will you listen to? Boss one is the one that gave you the first command, and boss two is the one that employed your boss that gave you the
Boss
first
two,
command.
listen to boss two.
Good. So therefore, boss two's what command has overridden that of what boss one because he's higher. So in other terms, we are just trying to say that when a subclass inherits from a parent class, okay, and redefines its method at runtime, the computer accepts the subclass what redefinition or re-implementation of that particular method. So now let's create a subclass over here. Let's create a subclass. Let's call the class dog. Okay, like what has been given over here in our code here. Let's call it dog. So I'm going to say class, okay, and I'm going to call it dog. Sorry. Best. So we are saying class dog, then we know how to inherit using the keyword what extends. extends what? Animal. Okay, it extends animal. All right. Then I don't know why this thing automatically keeps, maybe some setting I have turned off. Okay, it's automatically auto completing my course for me based on the logic I am following. So we are saying that the public, okay, method, which is not supposed to return anything, that's why its return type is void, okay, which was already called or defined in our parents class, the sound method, to display this information when called upon. We are going to ask it to now display a different information when called upon. Okay, and what information are we going to ask it to display? We are going to say, okay, let's use the what is here. Dog makes a sound. Okay, instead of animal makes a sound, it should now become dog makes a sound. Now let's go back to our main class and then run this same code again. Okay, we are going to run this same code again, but we are going to change this guy. We are going to change this guy to the dog class, and I will explain what is going on here. I will explain what is going on here. I'm saying that go to the animal class. Okay, this object we have created called cat here belongs to the animal class. But when you go to the animal class, create a new space inside the subclass, which is a dog class, inheriting from the animals class. Okay, create a new space inside it and use this object for that. Do you understand? So it means that this object automatically now does not belong to the parent class, even though I said we were supposed to go to the parent class. But when we go there, there was a subclass, which is the what? The dog what? Class. Please, are you following? And then we are asking to create a new space inside that subclass for this object. So if I'm supposed to run this code right now, we are going to see that the outcome will be dog makes a sound. Dog makes a sound. Okay. Do you see that the outcome is dog makes a sound? Okay. Nevertheless, I can still create a cat, okay, dot sound. Okay, I can still create a cat. um let me type this one later after this one. Okay, I can still create this and say this animal. Sorry, it's supposed to be capital animal. Okay, cat, like we did before. Okay, sorry. Then we do this. Then we come down here and say cat dot sound. You are going to appreciate it more when I do this. Good. Sorry. Good. Okay, let's use mouse. Okay, now we are going to see that let's look at the run, what the output will be. I don't want to talk much. I just wanted to show it to you so that I use it to explain. Now we are going to see that for the mouse we are going to have animal makes a sound. Why is this happening? Because I strictly said that this particular mouse that I created object should belong to it should belong to which class? The parents class, which is the what? The animal class. Please do you understand? But for this one, what I did here is that inside that animal class, I created an object and told to the system that you should create a new space inside the what? The dog class, okay, for this what? Object. Do you understand? So whenever sound is called upon, even though in our class here, even though sound has been defined as animal makes a sound, when I call upon it from the dog class, okay, when I call an object and I define it from the dog class aspect, that sound has been overridden by that by the subclass. Okay, it has been overridden. So what happens here now is that the object cat belongs to this, and this is just inheriting from the parent class, but it's not inheriting the output, because we have said that after you have inherited from the parent class, don't bring out its what implementation, but rather bring out your own implementation. Even though you inherited the method, bring out your own implementation. Please, do we get it? This is method overriding. Anybody has a question at this point before I continue? Anybody has a question? Okay, no one is talking. Oh, so I'm good, right? All right, let's continue then. So then our next thing we are going to look at, since we understand method overriding, which is also known as the runtime polymorphism, okay, which is also known as the runtime polymorphism. We can see something. I was expecting somebody to ask me a question about this though, but nobody did. So I will take some time and explain it. This actually means nothing, okay? It's just to help you identify at which point you did an override of a particular method in a what, a support class. So that is why I can decide to put override here, at override over here. Here is it. All right, and it actually changes nothing. Okay, it changes nothing. Changes absolutely nothing. Okay, so I'm at override occurred here at line 43 and line 45 in our main class. Are you okay? And at override occurred over there. So that is all. It's not anything. It's not like as if without it the code will not run. It will run fine. Just to help you know that at this point you did an overriding of a method. Are you okay? All right, let's continue then. All right, let's continue then. So since this part of polymorphism has been achieved, let's enlarge this side and focus on this one and go back to the next thing to take note of. Now let's look at the line by line code explanation of what we looked at. You can see that a class animal parent class was created, a method in a parent class was created, void sound. Class extends animal, a class dog extends animal means that the class inherits from the parent class, the child class inherits from the parent class. Then at override ensures correct overriding. So it's just supposed to tell you that you are doing a correct overriding. Okay, so it just helps you to check at which point you also did an override. You saw it when I clicked on it. Then we also look at this part of the line of the code which says that parent reference child object. A parent reference a child's object. A parent now is referencing a child's object. This is supposed to tell you that this object does not belong to the parent class, okay, but it belongs to the child class and the parent references it. Do you understand? Good. Then we say at sound calls dog method at runtime. So at runtime, that is when this dog method is called upon. The method for dog is called upon for this particular object A here. That is at runtime. Are you okay? Good. So the output we expected was supposed to be dog backs. That is if we typed this exact code, we're supposed to get dog backs. Now let's look at rule number 2, method overloading, and this is called the compile time polymorphism. Compile time polymorphism. Explanation: method overloading allows multiple methods with the same name but different perimeters. Let's come back here a little. Have you noticed that we did not give any perimeters here? We did not state any perimeters here. Perimeters are what exist inside these two parentheses over here. We do not state any perimeter for the method. But here we are saying that given that we state perimeter for the method overloading is a type of what rule when it comes to polymorphism that allows multiple methods with the same name to have different what perimeters in the same class. In the same class. In the same class. I will repeat it for the very last time. In the same class. Now let's continue. The difference can be made in the number or types of perimeter. Java decides which method to call during compilation. That is why we call it the compile time polymorphism. So when the code is being compiled, that is when Java decides which one of these methods it is going to use based on what the input will be in the perimeter. So if I'm supposed to input integers, Java will call upon the method that makes use of the integers. If I'm supposed to input float, Java will call upon the method which data type is a float. Are we getting what we call overloading is? So the same method, but we are overloading it with different ways it's supposed to be executed based on the input, the nature of its input. Please, are you following? That's what we mean by same name, same method name. We have not changed the method name, but its parameters is being overloaded. We load it first one, then we load it again with a different data type. We load it another time with a different data type until probably we get satisfied that okay, these data types have all been covered. So depending on what the user inputs, that is when at compilation Java will decide, okay, this is the befitting method I have to give to that. Do you understand? So the whole purpose is to make code more readable and flexible. It is called compile time polymorphism because the decision is made before the program runs. So compilation is different from running. Okay, runtime actually happens when the program is running. That's why we call it the runtime polymorphism. Compilation is the last time the lecturer even tried to explain. I don't know if it was not our lecture, but I think it was what is it 207. I was trying to explain what compiling is. Compiling, assemblers and compiler and an interpreter. Okay, when I'm compiling the code, what am I making it? Who can help us? What if I say I'm compiling the code? What am I doing to the code? Today I'm having a very tough crowd. Nobody is talking. Anyway, let's continue then. All right, so let's look at the code example over here. In the code example, we declare the method and we call the method math operation, ops for short for the operation. Okay, math ops. Then what we did inside this class is that we created a method and we said that this method is supposed to have a data type integer. All right, so all its parameters are supposed to be integers. Are you okay? Then we named the method as add. Okay, then inside its parameter we said we're supposed to pick up an integer a and an integer b. Then when it is done, it's supposed to return the summation of these two integers. Then we came down here and created another method inside that same class with the same name of the previous method, add. But this time around we said that it is supposed to be a double. Its inputs are supposed to be doubles. That means that they can be decimal values. Okay, then we are saying that we should pick up the double a double b and its return is supposed to be the summation of these two doubles. Have you noticed that it's the same thing here, but to which method will be called upon during compile time will be based on what input we gave before we compiled the program. Do you understand? So Java will now decide on which of these methods to use based on the input we gave before we compiled the code. Do you understand? So one of it will be indirectly become like dominant if the input does not meet it. Are you okay? Good. So now in our testing, we say that public this one we are supposed to know that is the heartbeat of Java. That's where we test the code actually. So Java looks for this particular line of code before it executes its code, and this is automatically existing inside the main class. Okay, that's why I always run my code over there or test my code over there. Now we called upon the class, gave it an object m, then we said that we should create a new space inside that same class for that object. Are you okay? Good. Then we are asking the system to print out the object, and then we gave some inputs to the method, the object to that method, and we gave some input inside the parameter which Java automatically assigned to A and B respectively. Then at the same time we called upon that same method, but this time around we use a double integers. Okay, this is what we call as method overloading. One method being overloaded with different ways is supposed to be what executed. One method being overloaded with different ways it is supposed to be what executed inside the same class. So let's bring this idea and then follow suit over here. Oh, sorry, wrong interface. Let me choose this one. Good. Come on, you're kidding me, right? This one. Good. Let's admit Vida. Okay. I'm trying to enlarge this thing before it enlarges me. Hold on. Okay, fine. So we have looked at method over. Anyway, nobody's minding me. Let's continue then. So let's look at method overloading. Okay, so in this case we are coming to create a class, and I would like to create this class, okay, and call the class, what should I call the class? We are doing some addition here. So yes, I think they say maths classes are supposed to start with capital. So maths operations. I would like to write operations in full. Maths operations. Okay, then I decide to do this. I'm not supposed to do this anyway. Okay, good. Now I'm going to define a method inside here, and I'm saying that this method is supposed to be of the data type integer. The name of the method is going to be what? Addition. Okay, we are going to do addition. Then I'm going to assign parameters to this, and I'm going to say integer a, okay, then comma integer b. Okay, this is the parameter that this. Oh, I was supposed to type it inside this one. I don't know what it's doing outside. Sorry, let me bring it back into this. All right, now it works fine. Good. Now when I am done, okay, I will now tell what is supposed to happen after, because remember methods are supposed to either return or not return anything. Because I did not use void, this is supposed to tell you that it is supposed to return something. Okay, I want it to return something, so I will ask it to return the addition of A and B. We good? All right, I assume we are good with this, but here lies the case. I am saying that with method overloading, okay, I can literally define the same method, okay, I don't know why I'm using integer. I can give the same method add, okay, and then reload it with another set of operations or perimeters. I can change the perimeter of that same method. Remember, the name of our method is add, okay, inside the same class. Notice that I'm doing it inside the same class. So now the data type of what I'm supposed to pick per the user input is supposed to be a double. Okay, double B. All right, that's the data type of what it's supposed to pick. And at the end of the day, when it is done picking these stuff, it is supposed to what? Do a summation. That is return. It's supposed to return the addition of A, B. Give me a moment. What are we talking about? They said what? Cast expression int. Hold on for me. Don't know why it's flagging this over here. Let me quickly check up something. It's supposed to work fine though. Because sorry. I'm sure I'm very oh yeah. I'm very sure I did not close this particular method. Good. My bad. Alright, I didn't close the method, so it was like as if it is one in all, but it's not supposed to be like that. I was supposed to, this is the beginning and the closing of this method, and then this is also the beginning and the closing of this same method, but just that different. I can also give another one and say what float. I can say float, yeah, and say add. Good. Then the data types in this parameter will be what? Float. It's like the way you acquire is not helping me. Like you understand or you don't understand. I can't really tell.
We are.
Brother, please complete for me. I know that you help me with talking up because this.
We are with you.
You are with me. That's
yes.
good. I like that. If you are with me, I'm happy. All right. So same method. Why am I saying same method? Because a method is only identified by its name, and we can see that all these methods I've created here have its name being what? Add. Do you understand? So same method, but I've overloaded it, or in other words, I've given it different ways it's supposed. And how would Java know which of these methods to call upon? Is based on its parameters. So you can clearly see that I gave a specific argument or parameter per the user's input when this method is called upon by an object. Okay, then Java will now decide which one of these methods is supposed to use as of when the code is being compiled. Do you understand? So that's why we call it the compile time polymorphism. Okay, same method I have overloaded with different ways it's supposed to be what executed, but Java only picks one based on user input when an object is created. So now let's go into the main class and then create an object. Okay, let's create an object for that particular class. So we are saying, oh, in fact we have already created objects here, but let's create another object inside that same class. So animal, we call upon the class as usual. Okay, then what do? We give the name of the object to people. Anyway, so we are going to call the object maybe sum 1. That's our first summation. Okay, then we tell to create a new space in memory inside that same method. We will hope you notice that this guy here is the constructor from our previous lessons.
Yes.
This is a constructor.
That is Anna.
Good. The reason why you can clearly see that I'm not inputting anything here. Java, I told that whenever I fail to create a constructor, Java automatically creates one for me. And the one that Java automatically creates, you can clearly see that Java does not know what I am telling the constructor to pick up and assign anywhere or whatever. So it just creates a constructor which is going to take user input. Are you okay for this particular object I am creating? Are you following? But I didn't explicitly creates the constructor and told Java that it's supposed to take up maybe first addition 1, second addition 2, whatever whatsoever. No, that's the first input should be a string, second input. No, I didn't tell you to do that. Please do you understand? Java automatically creates a constructor for me. Whenever I do this, Java automatically creates a constructor for me. So you see, I failed to create constructors inside these classes, so Java did that for me. Okay, so what is happening here is that I call upon the class, create an object that belongs to the class, tell Java to create a new space inside the class, and then its constructor comes to play when it comes to this. Okay, and you can see that there are also no attributes. I've created methods here, but I did not create attributes. So therefore, the constructor's job is to pick up user input and assign it to attributes. But because I did not create any attribute, there is no need for a constructor to be picking up anything and assigning to any attribute. That's why this constructor has no work doing at the moment. Do you understand? In case I was supposed to create attributes inside that class, then it will be the constructor's job to pick up user input and assign this to those attributes. Do you understand? To be saved. Please do get
Yes,
it.
please. Yes.
All right. Yeah. So what is happening here that I'm telling object 1, okay, to make a sound. I don't know why this is auto completing with sound. Okay, so I'm going to tell object 1 to add. Do you remember our add method we created? We created 3 of them, same method, but we overloaded them with different ways it is supposed to be what implemented based on input. So I'm therefore going to create what? Oh, sorry, I was supposed to system out this thing. Good. So I'll just type your results is okay. Your result is, then I concatenate it with someone dot, then I call upon the method. Are you following?
Yes, please.
I call upon, why is this thing flag? Okay, then what was the first? Maybe I decided to do 22 comma maybe 20. I don't know why this thing is being flagged as red. Let me just point it to see why.
Check the aim.
Create add method in animal. Oh, sorry, I'm calling upon a wrong class. Sorry, this is the class mass operation, please. This is the class mass what operation, so I'm supposed to be creating all these things for the class mass operation. Sorry, that's why the auto completion was make a sound. So it's supposed to be mass what operation. Okay, mass operations, that's the name of the class to which this thing belongs to. Constructor will also be having the name of the class as usual. Good, now it works. So you see that Java automatically assigns the first input, which is an integer, to our A, and then this one to our B. But you see, Java now knows which one of these method is going to what to execute based on what the user what input. Do you understand? For the method. Okay, so now Java is going to ignore. What is it going to ignore? It's going to ignore this particular method here, the double, and it's also going to ignore the float. Do you understand? But I just called upon the method's name. Why is Java using this one and not these guys? Because of the specific input I gave to it, which follows the data type integer. Please, do you understand?
Yes.
Oh, sorry. There's supposed to be one last. This one here. Good. I think we are cool with that. So during compilation, Java knows which one of these methods to use, even though they were the same methods overloaded with different ways they should be implemented. Java knows which one is going to pick out of these several methods because of user what input. Do you understand? But what if I put a point here? What if I put a point here? What data type has this become now? 2.3.
Boolean.
Java. Finder. I
Right.
said Java. Uh,
Double.
don't let me count there right now.
Double, double.
Okay, so let's go here. Do you see that automatically the double is also now in use? Do you see it?
Yes.
It has also turned blue. But what has happened to this guy? No
It has.
usage. Do you see no
Yeah.
usage?
Yes.
So during compilation, Java is going to deal with this guy, okay, and then Java is what now going to what ignore the first one. But if I should put another point here, what is happening? Java is going to come and use this one. If I should go back to the main class, change this point and maintain the second one, what is going to happen in our class here? Java,
It will use
come
the
on,
add.
come on, don't bring yourself. There's something called typecasting. You will know it. Yes, what is happening? It is still using the double. Why?
Why is he
Uh,
using the double?
So I think
Because
he's
there's
using the
points
double.
at the 2.0.
let's
You've
compile
called the
it.
double.
Let's compile it. You understand why? Who sees what is going on here? Your result is 25.0. Who says it?
So
All
our
right.
result
So
is a
so
double.
Your result
yes.
is a double. Why is Java picking the double over the integer? Even though the first input is an integer.
Because the second input there's points.
Oh yeah, but ideally, if you are following sequential way of things, if the user's first input is an integer, and then per the methods I provided here, looking at first input as integer, I'm supposed to go with this one. But why did Java jump to this guy and use this guy rather, even though the first input was an integer? Can
I
anybody
think it's
make a
because
quick research and tell us why? Just make a quick research and tell us why. So you can ask it this way. You can search this way. Why does Java pick up a double method? Okay. Why does Java pick up a double method over an integer method? Okay. Even though the first input was what for the method was what an integer, and then the second was a double. You can ask it this way. So you can ask and then get back to us. Let's continue. You can make a quick research. We will come back to it. Make a quick research and get back to us. All right, let's continue with what we were doing. So we understand the two um, methods: overloading and overriding. What is method overriding sometimes known as?
runtime
So
People,
overriding.
overlooking or ignore uh, some and just move on.
yeah, my dear Vida, Vida dear.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you answering the one I said do research on?
No, no.
Oh, okay, okay. I'm asking that what is method overriding sometimes known as? It might be asked. It's an examinable question. Yes.
Method overriding.
Runtime polymorphism.
Runtime polymorphism. Very good. What about method overloading?
Compilation polymorphism.
What's the name?
Compilation polymorphism.
Don't bring yourself. Don't bring that. Hey, sorry. This is what I tell my kids.
Compile time.
Yeah. Compound time polymorphism. Sorry, I miss my kids. Sorry. That's what I normally say when they are giving answers I'm not expecting. Like, don't bring yourself. Forgive me, okay. All right. So
Sorry, bro.
compound type polymorphism. That is also perfectly correct. Let's look at some rules in polymorphism. Who's ready for some rules? Nobody like rules, but anyway, we'll look at them anyway. Okay, they are not really that much, I guess. Yeah, they're not really that much. About five, and we have even looked at two. All right, so we can deal with the three within a blink of an eye. So parent reference can hold child's object. Do you remember how parent reference a child object? We did that in method over.
Riding.
Yeah, method overriding. Good. And we said that a parent class can point to a child's, like that's a child's class object. This is called upcasting. This is called upcasting. Please, what is this one called?
Upcasting.
Very good. This is called upcasting and is essential for polymorphism. It allows one variable. How many?
One
Don't
variable.
respond. Don't respond. Okay. It
It
allows
allows
one
one variable.
one variable to refer to different object types. It allows one variable to refer to different object types. This makes programs more flexible and scalable. Good. It also enables runtime method selection, runtime polymorphism, which refers to method overriding, method overriding, runtime polymorphism. So as I stated, this particular rule is specifically reserved for method overriding. Are you okay? Now let's go into it in the form of code. Now we define a class here, animal class. We call upon a method which is not supposed to retain anything, okay, which is void. Then we call the method sound. We didn't give it any perimeters because I'm not sure you're taking any inputs for it for the sound, but you're supposed to print out something when a method is called upon by an object, okay, and that is what animal sound. Are you okay? In a string manner. Then we also come to the class, the subclass that extends the animal class. The subclass is called, look at this and tell me the name of the subclass.
Cat.
Good. The subclass is called cat. Very good. And it extends from which class? It extends
From parent
which class?
class.
Which parent class? What's the name of the parent class?
Animal.
Animal class.
Class here. So you guys are following. Let's continue. So inside the child class, we can clearly say that we call upon the same method but redefined its implementation. This is what we call as over. Oh,
Riding.
very
Riding.
good. So we have redefined its implementation. Now we are saying that whenever that method is called upon by an object that references the parent class, okay, an object that belongs to the what, the child class, but references the what, the parent class. Are you okay? You can see it here. This object belongs to, that's why we say create a new space inside the child class. Are you okay? The constructor is creating this for the child class. Are you okay? For this object.
Yes.
Good. But it is referencing the what? The parent. Oh, why does this thing keep appearing on my screen? It is referencing the what? The parent class. This is what I mean by the referencing. Do you understand? So whenever that object is called upon and the method is called right after it, what happens? Okay, we are going to have an overriding of the parent class method implementation, and then what is going to come out is that of the what, the child class at runtime. At what? Runtime. This is why we call this type of polymorphism runtime polymorphism. Are you okay? At runtime. So our expected output will be cat meows, cat meows. Now let's look at the line by line explanation of the code. I think we did that when we were talking. Anyway, animal. This is app casting. This is known as what? App casting. So let me go here. Let me just add ChatGPT something. What is app casting in basic details with respect to polymorphism. Polymorphism. All right, let's see what it says about it. Remember, I've given you guys an assignment though. Don't forget. All right. So app casting, storing is equal to storing a child object inside a parent reference, not a parent class. The parent has been what? Referenced. Please, are you getting it? Now let's look at some basic syntax. We say the parent class, then reference, that's the name of the child object. Okay, that's what we have termed as ref. So reference equal to the child, the new, that's creating a new space in memory by the constructor, which belongs to the child class. Are you okay? So let's look at an example here. Oh, you use the same example I have him. Oh, okay, I copied the code and pasted it here for the class. I didn't use here to explain, so that's why it's making use of my example, which is not fair. uh, why is it called upcasting? Think of a hierarchy. Okay, let's think of a hierarchy. Are you all ready to think of a hierarchy? All right, now we are saying that you are moving up from dog to animal. So the dog, which is a child class, okay, belongs to a child class. From here you can see here that this is the child class called dog. The child class is moving up to reference the what? The parent what? So think of it that way. The child class dog is moving up to reference the parent class animal. Are you okay? Do you see it? And so upcasting. Do you understand? Upcasting. So you are moving up from dog to animal. Do you understand? Why upcasting is important for polymorphism? Let's quickly look at it. Without upcasting, polymorphism cannot work. So that means that the whole purpose of polymorphism is built on upcasting. Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yeah. So after you reference, you create. Specifically, I will say this aspect of polymorphism, which is what? Method overriding. It's mostly based on what? Upcasting. Do you understand? All right, so let's look at you say blah 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 the sound dog barks. Why? Because reference animal class object dog. Java uses the real object dog at runtime. So Java at runtime uses the what? The real object dog at runtime, not the what? The animal what? Not the animal class. Okay, so therefore the object belonging to the what? The child class is what is used. Okay, and the method assigned to it is overridden as it is called upon in the child class. Do you understand? And redefined. Okay, so key idea: upcasting allows one variable to behave like many objects. One variable to behave like many what? Objects. What can what you can and cannot do? You can call parents what? Method. So that's what we called upon here, allowed. You cannot call only child only methods. For instance, we have animal a equal to new dog, then we say dot fetch a dot fetch, and we can see why won't this thing work from here. Look at this code here. They say that class dog extends animals, then we say void fetch inside the child class because the dog is a child class. Do you understand? So we are saying the dog extends animals. Then we are saying that we called upon the method fetch. Okay, then we came back and we said that animal a, that's when we are testing it, is equal to new dog. Okay. Then we said A fetch. Why would this thing print an error? Why would this print an error? You can look at it. Hey, the answer is even down there. Evening. Baby. Okay, the points is here. Oh, people, you're not talking. Got a code and tell me why this will print an error. The answer is even there.
Because it's a type animal.
Is that what? We said you cannot call child only methods. You can't call child only methods. This is supposed to tell you that this particular method you are seeing over here belongs only to the child and is being called upon like as if though that method is already existing inside the parents class. From our previous code, do you see that a method has been declared as fetch in our parents class? From here, is there any method
No.
declared fetch? Good. So that means that this method we are seeing here, and you can even see that this is the child class we are talking about here, and this method has been defined only for the child class. Do you understand? And we are referencing it like as if though this method is already existing in the parents class. Do you see it here?
Yes. So
This is
then
what
there
we
will be
mean
an
by
error.
you cannot call child only methods in aspect of polymorphism. Do you understand it now?
Yes.
Okay. I'm glad you understand it now. All right. So that was just by the way. That was for rule what? Rule 4. Rule 5. Only parent methods are accessible. I think we have really looked at this from what we just did. Ooh, yeah, I see it. The same thing as I said. I pasted this document there previously to use it to teach over there. I was about to use ChatGPT to teach the whole session, but I tried, let me just use my own document to teach. So it's just the same thing. All right, we are saying that the next rule is that only parent methods are accessible, not child's only method. Do you understand that one? So it's just the same thing here. Do you get it? So from here we can see that inside the parent class this method was what was defined, okay, and this inside the child class this was defined. But when I was calling and I was referencing over here, you can clearly see that I called upon the parent class, gave it an object, and said create a new space in the dog class for it. Are you okay? Then I called upon the sound. Are you okay? But this one will work because this one it has been what defined inside the what the parent class. Good, but this one won't work. Why? Because this is a child only method. This is a child, the fetch is a child only what method. Do you understand? So it won't work. So they say
Sure.
that yes please.
So for that to work, must we first set a getter for it or what? What must we do for it to work?
No. For it to work we have to now pick up this method and put it inside the parent class since we are
Call it in
referencing it.
parent class.
Do you understand it? So now that it's existing in the parents class, we can call upon it in the child class because the child extends the parents class. Do you understand?
I understand, but then you see when we were doing inheritance,
Yes, please.
um, you can, I don't know, you can have I don't know, how do I call this? It's not there was some there was this time where it's not everything that the parent class has. I mean the child class has that the parent class also has.
Good. I like where
You
you're
know what I'm trying
going.
to say?
Yeah, I like where you're going. Now, should I step in or you want to keep on?
Yes, please, you continue. Continue from
All
your
right.
side.
So you get to know that these things that you are talking about, okay, this thing that you are talking about were attributes, fields of the parent class. Do you remember?
Yes.
Right now, what we are looking at is methods. For polymorphism, overriding and overloading is dealing with methods, not attributes. That's why you can see clearly that from the beginning to the end of our whole illustration, I never typed any attribute for any class. Do you see it? I only typed methods. We are overriding and overloading methods. Do you understand? But in case there was an attribute here, I can inherit that attribute, and then I can also put a specific attribute in a child class for the child class alone. Do you understand? But this is methods, and I'm inheriting a method and overriding that method. Do you get what I'm saying? Or you still don't get
Please,
it?
please take it
Yes,
again. Take
please.
it again.
All right, let's make it simple here. Let's give an attribute to this class. Let me call it animal name. Oof, I hate this naming. Good. Please, are you following?
Yes, please.
Good. This is what is the name given to this? What's it?
Attribute.
Good. So for an attribute, what do I need for the attribute? A constructor, because a constructor must be responsible for assigning value of the user input to this particular attribute. Do you understand? Do you get it?
Yes.
Yes.
Good. So how do we create a constructor? A constructor must be public. What else? It must hold the name of the what?
Right.
It must hold the name of the. You're not helping you.
And the
It must
attribute.
hold the
You might hold the name of the attribute.
of the class. Yeah. Of the class. Do you understand? Constructors hold the name of the class. Are you getting it? They will give you the perimeter of what is supposed to what to pick up and assign, right? That is what the string what animal name, right? Then we are supposed to tell it what it's supposed to do with it after it picks it up. Oh, sorry. Do we get it? Do we get what I just did here? Now,
Yes, please. We are with you.
good. This is the class extending to the animal class, right? Do you see it? Now, let me create a special attribute for this one. Let me say string sound. Again, I need a constructor for this guy, right? So what I will do is that constructor is public. What else it is? It needs the name of the class, and then it's supposed to have perimeters. As you can see, it's supposed to have perimeters. Do you get it? Then what is it supposed to do? It's supposed to pick up. Now we can see that we call upon super, that is the constructor of the word of the main class, to come and do what? Animal name assignation. And I think the last time I spent some time on it to explain it. Please, do you see what is going on here? I called upon the constructor of the main class to come and do the assigning, because this particular word attribute is existing inside the word, the parent class. So if I'm supposed to create a constructor in the word, the subclass, okay, which is also going to take the same input per inheritance, okay, of the parent class. What is it supposed to do? It's not its job to do assigning, and even if it is going to do assigning, it does not have any attribute here to assign to. Therefore, I call upon the parent what class constructor to come and do that assigning. Do you understand?
Yes, please.
Good. So therefore, after that, I have to also tell my constructor in the what, the subclass, also what to do with this particular input. Do we see it? Because I don't tell it what it's supposed to do with this input, because that is the job of this constructor. It is just inheriting. It is just what? Inheriting. So whatever it will assign here, whatever this super constructor calling upon the main constructor in the parent class here will pick up from the user input over here and then assign. That is what this guy here inherits. That is what the dog class inherits. Do you understand?
Yeah,
Yeah.
please take that one again.
I am saying that it is not the job, okay, of this particular constructor over here to assign the input over here for animal name. Why? Because that attribute does not exist inside this particular class. Do you understand? Where does it belong to? It belongs to what? This parent class here. Do you see it?
Yes.
Good. So
Yes,
therefore,
yes.
when the input is done, who is going to do that assignation? It is the what? The constructor of the super class. That's the parent class. That's what I've coded here, right? It picks that input up and then assign it. So I just called upon it to come and do its work over here. Do you understand? The subclass. Are you following? But because this attribute specifically belongs to this class, which is the subclass alone, I have to now tell the constructor what it's supposed to do with this particular user input. Are you following? After that one, it's a sales job. Why? Because that attribute exists inside that what class. This is what we mean by attributes. But this time around, we are talking about methods, and the method is being overridden, is inherited and redefined. Do you understand? This one, what it is doing is that it's not redefining anything. It is not redefining, where is the animal? It is not redefining the attribute. It is rather calling upon the constructor of the parent class to pick up the user input over here and then go back and assign it there, and it will just inherit it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Good. But for what? Polymorphism, we are we are dealing with what? With methods. And we are saying that that method is overridden. So there is a method here that is called sound. This method is not supposed to return anything, but it is just supposed to print out this when it is called upon by an object. And I came to a subclass and I said, let this class extend from that parent class. But I called upon that method, that same method, and I overrode its implementation and said, instead of printing out animal makes sound, whenever that method is called upon, okay, print out dog makes a sound. Do you understand?
Yes.
And this is only possible when this class object references the parent class based on what I have done here. But if I'm supposed to put a method inside here, like for instance, I create a special method only for this particular what class, the subclass, and say that public void, then what do I say? Fetch. Sorry, there's a double E over there. I don't know what it's doing there. Fetch. Then I say this, that whenever this method is called upon, print out this. Oh, what is happening? Print out this. Okay, let's continue. I would say dog likes fetching. Do we see what is going on here? What I'm saying is that when I come to the main class and I'm creating an object, I cannot reference the object in such a way to the parent class like as if though this particular method I have just created called oh, I don't know how I've separated it. Let me bring it back. This particular method I have created here called fetch, it is found inside the parent class. It is only found inside the what? The subclass. Do you understand? So I can't say that go to the animal class, create a dog, an object called dog. Are you okay? Inside the new, it creates a new space inside the dog class for me. Sorry. See the constructor is working here. Sorry about that. The constructor is doing his work here. Do you see it? Do you see how the constructor is working here? Now, what I can't say that this, then I will call upon the method. Are you paying attention? And say dog, okay, dot fetch. Why won't this work? You can tell me why this thing is not allowed. Why is this one flagged red? Why is this method flagged red? Because this dog I've created here, what does it belong to? It belongs to this class, but it is referencing the what? The parent class. I hope you know that. It's referencing what? A method in the parent class. So it can only pick up methods in the parent class, not methods in the child only class. Do you understand? So how do I fix something like this? If I'm supposed to pick up this method in the child only class, and then put it over here inside this what? Parent class. If I should pick it up and put it inside here, I'm sure it's being flagged red because, let me see. Sorry, I'm sure I didn't put it inside the class well. Let me clear it. Good. Let me see where to put it properly. Animal, this, that, blah. Public. Okay, it's alright at the door. It's supposed to be here rather. Now, do you see that when we go back to the main class, this thing is no longer red? Why? Why isn't it no longer red?
Because the problem has been rectified.
Good. The problem is, at first, it was only a method existing in the child class. And then I am referencing it like as if though that method was existing in the parent class. Let me find that code. Oh, I am referencing it though like as if this method was existing in the what? The parent class. But now that I have placed it in the parent class, I can now reference it and even go to the extent of overriding its implementation. Do you understand? So now I can see that in this take initially I pasted it inside, I typed it inside the parent class, and that's what it's supposed to do. Now I will say dog likes fetch. I'll make it fetching. What I've done now is what? Method what? Overriding. Method over what? Riding. Let me rectify this mistakes. Let me see what the mistakes are. Expected one argument but found two. These whole errors are occurring because I have placed a constructor inside these guys. Okay, let me clear this construct, this line of code. It's not helping me. Oh, sorry. This one. Come on. Okay, let me clear this. It won't help me as long as it's still existing over there. Good. Now let me come back and clear constructor over here and its attributes over here as well. I don't need it. Good. Now our code looks much simpler. What am I saying? Now I see all red flags are gone. If I'm supposed to run this will work fine. Why would this work fine? And it will be dog likes fetching instead of dog like fetch. It will be dog like fetching. Do you see it here? Dogs likes dog likes fetching. Why is it working now? Let me explain for the very last time. Okay, then we close. What I'm saying is that this method over here, okay, you can clearly see that it says one override. Can you see it? It means that the initial implementation of when this method is supposed to be called upon is supposed to be dog likes fetch. But when I came to the child class, called upon this method, I said that let it be overridden and it should print out dog likes fetching. That's because this what subclass is extending the parent class or is inheriting from the parent class. So whenever I create an object in the main class, which I have done over here, and then it references the parent class. Okay, let me put my sentence well. Whenever I create an object that belongs to the what the child class, okay, but it is referencing the parent class, and then I call upon that method for that object, it works because this particular method dot fetch is now existing inside the parent what class that I'm referencing. But in case it was not existing here, then there will be a big problem. Why would there be a big problem? Because this is now a child only class. It's only existing in the child class. The method a child only method, because this method is only existing in the child class. So therefore, how can I reference it if it is not existing in the parent class? Do you understand? How can an object reference something that is not existing in a parent class? Do you understand? Even go to the extent of overriding it. Please, are you following?
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Good. So now if I should go back and then put it back there in the parent class, sorry, let me do that. Now problem solved. Why? Because it is now referencing something that actually a method that actually exists in the parent class. Even going to the extent of what? Overriding what is implementation from dog likes fetch to dog likes fetching. Do you understand?
Yes.
Do you get it now? But for when it comes to inheritance with respect to attributes, okay, inheritance with respect to attributes, and then there's an attribute in the parent class, and that attribute does not exist in the what, the subclass, and you want to reference, or let me say, you want to inherit that attribute, you just call upon the constructor to pick up the inputs, okay, and go back and assign it inside the parent class, then you inherit it. Do you understand? But whatever attribute belongs inside this what the subclass alone is only for the subclass. The same thing also applies here. Whatever method belongs to the subclass alone is only for the subclass and cannot be referenced like as if though it is already existing in the parent class. Do you understand? Do you get it?
Yes.
Good. So who has found the answer to this then we close? Why was this preferred? Why was the method overloading, why was the double method rather used, not the integer method? No one found an answer to that.
You are back to the old one.
Yes, please. I asked a question before we continue, though. Right.
Oh.
Well, you are not here.
Mm-hmm.
I asked the question that we did method overloading, and in that concern, we created one method in a class called mass operations. Okay, we created one method called add, and we created that method so many times just that its perimeters were redefined in a different way, one for integer, one for double, the same method, and one for what, for float. Do you understand? But doing compilation based on the user input, okay, for the perimeter, the system only picked the one for the double, and we are asking that why is it that even though the person's first initial input was an integer, the system rather picked the double, even though the second input was rather the double? Why?
Because the system did not recognize the integer.
Why is it not recognizing the integer?
Because it was not declared.
It was declared.
It was not known to the
It was
this
even the
thing.
first code. It was the first line of code. By
Is that
that,
how I talk?
by that, it is the first line of code. Look at it. It's right here. That's the first method. The first method say that in case the person is supposed to input an integer for the first time, okay, use this particular method and ignore the rest. Method overloading, compile time polymorphism. During the compilating time, okay, ignore all these guys based on the user input that the first input was an integer. Use the integer method rather. Why they didn't come to the double when the second input rather that was a double? Why?
It- Um,
Why?
can we say it's
Because
because it takes the first one also as an as a double
Is
because
it?
maybe it takes the first one also as a double because since there's a double, you cannot you cannot what word should I use for this? We cannot overlook the double, but then we can overlook the integer.
Mm, well, he was almost getting it somewhere, somehow. Anyway, he tried. Okay, now let's look at this. Okay, let's look at what ChatGPT has. I was expecting you guys to do this behind the scenes and come up with some powerful, answers. Okay, but let's look at it. Now let's look at the algorithm or the arguments we are having, the code we are having. So I said algorithm. Now the values passed were 23 and then 2.0, which was a double. Now look at your methods. The methods that we declared were these guys. All the same name, the same method name, but different what perimeters. You can see that over here. Are you okay? Based on user input, the during compile time, Java automatically picks one of these methods. Now, let's look at how Java decides. Very important rule. Java chooses the method that best matches the perimeters. So if that is so, our first input was an integer. Why did Java choose the double what method? Why? Okay, matching each method. We are going to say that integer, integer. Okay, but this one does not match it. This method is rejected. Float, method 2. Float, yes, it was a float, but this one was what? Was not was what was it? 2.0 double. Float is
was double.
narrowing, not automatic. Float is what? Narrowing, not automatic. What do you mean by float is narrowing, not automatic? That means that for every input we give, Java automatically assigns a point as the data type double. Float, you have to explicitly state that that data type is a float. So at the end of your input, you are supposed to put an F. Do you know that in Java, when you input the number, you're supposed to add an F to it so that it tells the system that change it from your default way of accepting it as a what, as a double, and save it as a what, as a float, like this. Sorry, it was 2.0 f. Please, do you understand? So now it accepts this one not
Yes,
as a
please.
double but as a float. That was just by the way. Let's continue. That's what we mean by float is narrowing, not automatic. You have to explicitly say that. Do you understand? Now let's look at this. Matches, double, 23 integer, double, save widening. That means that's why I said there is something called casting, typecasting. So Java automatically adds a point zero to this, and you call it save widening. When I add a point zero to 23, does it change anything? Does it?
No.
No.
It's still 23, right? That is why Java picked this as a perfect match. That is why Java picked this as a perfect what? Match. Let's come back to our coding environment after I added the F, making it a float. Can you see how Java automatically picks the float? Can you see now the float that has been blue? The method. Let's now think about logically what it's trying to say. Are you following? Follow. The first thing was a what? Was an integer.
Yes,
Agree?
please. We are following. Yeah.
The second one we said is a float, right? So because we said this is
Yes.
a float, Java automatically save widen this guy to also be a what? Who can guess?
A float.
To be a dub.
If this one was not explicitly said to be a float, Java now considers our second input to be a double and save widen these ones to be a double. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Because we added f and made it a float, Java picks this in as a float and save widen these ones to be a what? A float. Do you get it? Therefore,
Yes.
the best method to pick over here is the float
Yes.
method. Agree?
Yeah. Agree.
Good. Then I
Yes.
think we are done for today, right? Any
Yes.
questions?
I have a question.
Yeah, it's good. Questions are good.
So, please can you go back to the inheritance class?
Yes, I.
Oh no, sorry. No, no,
Oh,
no,
the
no.
main class.
Um, no, where you were
Polymorphism.
just now.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
No, the other one.
Main class. Where the code is being run. This one.
Okay, this is
Is
fine.
it? Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, you go to the polymorphism class. All right, so go down for me, please.
No. Okay.
All right, sure. So my question is,
Mm-hmm.
we can save an integer figure in double, right?
You say we can what?
We can save an integer figure in double. Say
Yeah, we can.
15.
We can. Yeah, we can save. We call it save widening. Okay. So Java can save
Yes,
widen an integer to be a double. Yes.
and we can do same for float also. Float to be a double.
Yes, we can save widen a float to be a double.
Yes. So in this case, why is it that we don't just set it as a one method? So just we just go with the add double add double double. That's method alone, and then we ignore the integer own and then the
And
float
then
own.
float. Perfect question. Now our whole topic today, I was expecting somebody to ask this question though. It's a good question. But our whole topic today is called method overloading. And what is method overloading? We are saying that to overload a given method, that same method overloading allows multiple methods with the same name. What was the same name of the method we were using?
Add.
add, very good, but different perimeters. So we are just trying to imply the principle of method overloading, saying that we have the liberty to create a method with the same name but different perimeters. And then during the time of compilation, Java picks up the best of the methods based on the user input. Do you understand it?
Yes, I get you.
Good. So
So
yes,
so
they might not be needed, but for the purpose of you might not know what the user will input for either of these parameters A and B. Okay, we therefore define different methods and give Java the liberty of picking which of these methods best. Do you understand? Best to be used when compiling the code based on the user inputs. Do you understand?
Yeah.
I get you.
Good. So we are just
Can you
overloading the same method over and over again with different ways that it can go. Do you understand? Or with different ways that inputs can be. Do you understand it? Same method but different perimeters. Method overloading. So first of all, we loaded this method with these perimeters. Then this same method we came to load it again with this perimeter. Then this same method we came to load it again with this method. The whole purpose is to overload the method with different perimeters so that when the user input a certain kind of input, based on the nature of the input, Java will pick which one of the method will best suit that input. Do you understand?
yes.
So yes, all of a sudden these guys become not needed. But why are they not needed? They are not needed based on the input we gave. So that means that if I'm supposed to change the input, then that method that all of a sudden was so needed becomes not needed. Then the one of the ones that was ignored becomes now significant. Do you understand?
Yeah.
Do you get it? So based on what values were assigned, then Java during the time of compilation picks up the suitable method for it. Do you understand? And this is mostly done for you, the programmer, to be on the safer side.
Mm.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Please,
Because
can we try a different example
different
without using
example.
the without using the integers and the double thing?
Or we have to overload the same method with different. Do you understand what
So
I'm
what
saying?
I'm
The
trying to
same
say
method.
is we sh- we create a different method where we would, I mean, give it different
Good. So we are trying to say
parameters,
that
but then it wouldn't be.
we are trying to say that let me sorry, let me comment out these guys. Are you okay? Like as if they don't exist. Then this is the only method I defined for the class. Are you okay? But what if the user does this? Why is it being flagged now? Because Java only is for when this method was called upon, okay, it was supposed to take what data type inputs? Integers. Are you following? From what I am seeing here, it is supposed to pick only what? Integers as its input, data type integers. But now I am assigning a double to it. So then what will Java do? Java will now take it as an error. When I'm compiling, you will see. I'm building it up. Give it a moment. Why? Why is Java flagging my whole code as an error? Because it does not know what method to use. Because per the method I have defined, I'm saying that user input is supposed to be what? Integers. It should assign integer for A and assign integer for B, not a double, not a float. Are you following? But if I'm
Yes.
supposed to, if I'm supposed to remove the now, this is now legit because 23 is an integer, and so is 2. Do you understand? Now the method works fine. But what if the user says that this is not the two numbers I want to add? Like a calculator, I want to add 23.6. Then what method is Java going to go with? Do you get what I'm trying to say? That is why it is essential for this same method to have different behaviors by defining its perimeters differently. And this is what we call as method overloading. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
So you see now that the user has entered 23.6. Java automatically says that then let me go with the same method but this time around data type double. Then let me save widen the second input to what a 2.0 to also be a double. Do you understand what is going on here now? My brother, do you understand it? Why is he gone?
I'm here. I'm here.
But do you understand it?
Yes, please. I understand.
Good, good, good. That's good. So it's very essential. This is based on the fact that, like a calculator, when you pick it up at any point in time, take it like as the program you have built, the calculator. When you're supposed to, somebody's supposed to use your program for calculation, is it always that the person is going to input his or her two or three or four inputs or five inputs as all integers? Is that the only thing that the person is going to input? No. It might be that the person might input what? A fraction, a double, a float, anything. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So when that case happens and you only define method for only integers, then your code is going to crash. Do you understand? Your program is going to crash. But if you define the same method for addition, but different ways in which addition is supposed to behave, overloading it with different perimeters, then no matter what the user inputs, it is still going to be valid. Do you understand? Because now during the time of compilation, Java will now pick a suitable method based on the user input. Do you understand?
Yes.
Good, good, good. I like that. And this is how to achieve method overloading. Same method overloaded with different perimeters. Are you okay?
Yes.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. So I think we can end our meeting today. All right. Thank you very much for having me and have a wonderful evening. Bye bye.
Thank you, Prima
So next time,
Freeman.
yes, please.
Yeah, please. I'm battling with something. I want to share it so that
Oh, no
maybe
problem.
you can
No
help
problem.
out. Can you allow me to share
Yeah,
what I'm battling with?
let me see how that is done. So the last time I did that, I went to people, and then people, and I went to the person, and I think I made the person a presenter. Very good. So I'll stop sharing. That you can share now.
Yeah, so can you see?
Yeah, we can see.
I'm sharing, right?
Yeah.
All right, sure. So see this thing here. I mean, so I'm running the code on VS Code, right?
All right.
And okay, so the code was running yesterday, like everything was okay. This
Everything was on
morning,
point.
everything
Yeah.
was on point.
Yeah.
This morning, I was
Come
trying
on.
to insert, hey, your background.
The noise. Don't mind me.
Yeah. So I was
Don't
trying
mind me.
to, I was trying to insert a GitHub. I was trying to insert GitHub into my code. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can clearly hear you.
Yeah. So after doing that, the code isn't running again. I have tried every single thing to run the code. You see, they said can't find the node.js binary. Node path does not exist. Make sure node.js is installed and in your path or set the return a runtime executable if your launch JSON. I have done this since up to now. Like it's isn't working. I went to the
Do you know something?
marketplace.
Go to your extensions. Go to extensions. Let me
Sure,
see.
sure, sure.
Then type the node dot. It's supposed to be an Apache or something extension as well. Node dot. Yeah. Let me see which one. Um, Popular. Install the one that has been crossed out. No. Go top. Go to the top. Yes. No. Go to the top. The top.
Yes,
Good. There is one. Let me count. One, two, three, four, five. The fifth one.
this
Yes. Install that one for me. No. Wait. That's one, two, three, four, five, six. Six
six.
rather. Yes. Install it. Then I'll also add. Go down a little. Code runner. Dot script runner. Okay. So install the script runner too.
Where is it?
Um,
Okay,
that
this
is
here.
no no no
This
no no
one.
no 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 no. Go off. It is written node.js script runner.
This one.
Yes, please. That one. Mhm. Go to the top a little. Yeah. I think that will be enough. Okay, now go back and run the code again. Let me see.
Okay, come on.
So that's not work.
You
Then
see?
I think it has to be installed in your path as well. Do you have this is what
Yeah,
CSS, right?
this Visual Studio Code.
No, I'm talking
So
about
I
the
was
the
using
type.
I was using the Visual Studio. This
Mm,
one.
yeah,
It's that one too isn't working. The Visual
It
Studio.
means what programming language are you running on?
So this
oh,
this C sharp.
C
Yes, C
sharp.
sharp. Yes.
Oh, C sharp. For C sharp, myself I haven't gotten time to attend to it yet.
I swear.
Hey, well, I'll call
This
him.
code this code was running. Now
Oh
I've
wow, wow,
messed
wow,
up the
wow.
whole code.
Oh, Vada is doing well. Vada is ahead. Cra. But for C
Sure.
sharp,
But show us the way. Show us the way.
for C sharp, the only thing I know that differs is the way to print out something. Um,
Okay.
I think that, and then I think what is it? What again? Apart from that, the dollar sign for what?
For PHP.
No. Like C sharp, we use dollar sign for something too. I think when you're calling upon
Oh,
a method or so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. When you're calling upon a method,
minor.
A
to,
method then yeah.
that's what I know about
I'm
C sharp.
here.
But it's literally the same as Java. It has almost the same thing as Java.
Yeah, it has almost the same thing.
So you will not really
But
suffer that much.
this code, this today, I really mess up.
In C sharp, now to now me right now the PHP kind of am spending time off. So I found out how to make your PHP run in your web and all. I
Ah,
just
sure.
figured it out. So right now C sharp them share it. Right.
Okay,
Ah,
sure.
you said your PHP running in web, as in using the local server
Yeah,
or what?
you can make it run inside your code, like your coding environment, and display on the console like what we do in Java. You can also make it run in your web. Okay, that is maybe your web browser. You get what I'm trying to say?
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's when you use the local
Yeah, that's
server,
when you use the
the
local
exam.
blah blah blah. But you need a XAMPP.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
you need a XAMPP. Yeah. So, you have a wonderful evening, people. Thank you very
Sure.
much for having me.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you so much for your time and for teaching. Bye bye.
I'm not
Rider,
really happy. I'm not really happy with the attendance today, but I'll be anything.
Yeah, Prince.
your code is the many brief.
Hey,
All right.
don't worry. It's
Uh,
now back class. Let's run it back class. I'll bet you.
share. Share no count. Why we end the entry lecture on?
Me, it's a code. I don't know. Say crack your side.
I don't know. Maybe you have to uninstall. Yeah. Maybe you have to
I've,
uninstall the Virtual Studio and then do it again or something. I don't know.
in fact, I've tried my bed 3 times or 4 times.
You
Uninstall,
uninstall
install,
and
install, uninstall, install. Then it's
then
fine.
maybe tomorrow. Then maybe tomorrow
I'll
you ask the lecturer himself and see.
Yeah, or I'll still find my way out.
All right.
I'll work on it. All right, sure. Good night.
Good night.
Kelvin, bye bye. Joshua, bye bye. Prince, bye.